everybody, Sean here from Board Paracord. Today we are going to use this new clasp that I've got in. We're calling it the Pop Tab Clasp. It's pretty cool. It allows you to put a loop on one end of your cord, so like this, and come up through the clasp and hook it around this little knob here, just like that. So we're going to incorporate this today into this clasp. Actually, it'll go down like that. There we go. And we're going to run it over here, do a couple different versions of how we can end the bracelet. There's quite a few options that you have for doing this bracelet with these. I'm going to show you 2, possibly 3 different ways that you can use this in this video. So the first thing I've got about 3 feet of a color, which is actually more than you need, but in order to do one of the closures, you do need a little extra cord. This is called America. It's a acid midnight blue with 2 little stripes of red and I believe that's a white stripe in between the red stripe. So it's kind of like a nautical kind of look to it. But yeah, it's America, M-E-R-I-C-A. So the first thing we're going to do is do what I just showed you, is take this tab here, go up from the bottom. So it does have a little bit of a curve to it, so this kind of goes on, would go on the back side of your wrist. So go up through there, pull it tight. Now you can do, for the first one that I'm going to show you, you can do this a couple ways. You can make this so that it goes down, and you basically would melt a big knob of nylon so that this can't pull back through. Now when you do that, you're going to be left with a loop there that basically doesn't move. We're not going to do that. So what you would do then, if this is fixed on here so that it can't move, you'd have to run all your slack back out through here until you have about the size of a bracelet, about there. Okay, and then lock that in. Then on this other side, so you have 2 cords, so with this other cord, then you would do a sliding knot, and you would attach the sliding knot somewhere on this first cord here, and that would allow you to adjust the bracelet. So that's one way to do it. The way that I'm going to show you how to do it is going to be where we do, the first one will be with 2 sliding knots, and the second one will be with 1 sliding knot, and then something to do with some micro cord at the end, which I will have to run and get. But okay, so first things first, in there around the knob, just like that. And then we're going to do one of the sliding knots here. So from the back side of that again, go up and through, and about right there. You're going to want to do a sliding knot about 1/3 of the way into the loop. So you have your whole loop here, you go about 1/3 of the way, and you want to do your knot there, because you want this to be able to adjust on your wrist, but you can also take it off your wrist with this. You don't have to worry about sliding, but you do want it to fit snug. So we do that, and to do this sliding knot, they're real easy to do. You're going to take your cord, and you're just going to wrap it one time, cross over what you just did. So it went this way, you wrapped around, now you're coming back around, cross over everything, and then go. So you'll have basically a cord that went around. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Went around, round, and now you have 2 tunnels that you can pull this down, and you have a tunnel to go through. So you want to take your cord through that tunnel, just like that. And you'll end up with a plus sign, and, well, I call that the plus sign, but actually it's an X. You'll have an X, like a multiplication sign on one side, and an equal sign on the other side. So that's your sliding knot. You can then cut this piece off and seal it, and then you would do the same thing with this one here. So you would go up through, or no, I'm sorry, down through. Or wait, did I go up through? Yeah, I went up through. Like that. And then we want to come back a third of the way. And we're just doing the same thing this time, but going the other way. So we're going to wrap one. It gets kind of confusing when you got all these cords in the way. So there's one. Oops, I went the wrong way. Alright, so we got have our cords here. So we go around, across it. Now we have our two cords that make our tunnel here. Oh my goodness. So you go through your tunnel. Pull that tight. That. There you go. So you have your X. Flip it over, and you've got your equal sign. There. So that's your two. So basically these cords here, let me back up a little here. These two cords here would not be on here, and this will actually look a lot nicer once that's done. And you could adjust this to be bigger, smaller if you needed to, and then you have the ability to then take this off that way too. So you could just leave this on and loosen these sliding knots up and slide the bracelet off. So you actually have two ways to take that off. One is to release it here, one's slide it off your wrist. So I am going to keep one of these knots here because this would be the next portion where you could then do something a little different. So I'm going to keep this knot here, and we're actually going to keep the knot on here for the time being so that we can wrap this with microcord. I thought I had microcord sitting here, but I have to go and grab it. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I have about 14 inches of white microcord here, and what I want to do is just take these two cords. See, these are the cords that go down through these holes here. And what we're going to do is take the microcord and wrap it around these two cords here. And then we're going to, once that's done, then untie this knot and clip the extra that's coming out from where the whipping was done. So in order to start this, what I want to do is take this out of the clasp so that I can lay this down to start. And it really doesn't matter which one you do. I am going to do just one and then have the ability to adjust the bracelet as well as having one side fixed. So to start doing the whipping, what you want to do is get your cord and you want to lay it across what you're going to be whipping. So you also want to have a little bit to grab hold of because you're going to be pulling this tight. So do that, and then you are going to have a loop at the other end. So you've got a loop and you have this little piece dangling here, and then I have about 10 inches hanging over here. And then from here, all you're doing is wrapping around, and you want to do this kind of firm. There is going to be a little bit of slack, but I'm just wrapping this, and we're going to do, I think, 5 full wraps around. And this is the long working end. This is not the shorter end here. Okay, so you can see I've got about 5 there now. And we'll probably do, I don't want this to be too long, probably 7 full wraps. Now on your last pass, you're going to take this through this little loop here. There we go. Pull that like that. So this cord is now going through that loop. I'm going to grab this other end here and pull this loop through. And I don't want to tighten this yet because I want to slide this close to the clasp. Just like that. Maybe even a little closer than that. Yep, right up on the clasp, just like that. Alright, now you should be able to pull on both of these ends. and it will start to tighten up on you. One thing you're going to have to do is just give this a twist, and as you twist, what's going to happen is that slack will move from one end to the other. And pull again, and you can see that tightens right up, and that's really nice and tight now. Pull, get it real tight. There we go. And that's just a real basic whipping. So now we need to cut the ends off of here. So we'll snip that there. And I'm getting as close to that as I can. And then one real cool trick is this is a tightening tool. It comes in quite a few different colors, but it has this knurled edge, and it has almost the same pattern as the paracord. So Tim from Weaving It All Together, or geez, Weavers of Eternity, I learned this trick from him, but he'll melt the ends here, and then what he'll do is roll this over the melted end, and it'll give it a texture so it doesn't look so shiny. I've known that trick for a while now. I just haven't had a tightening tool sitting here, so I'm going to just hit this with a lighter real fast, and then quickly with my tightening tool run it over that so that it gives it that little texture, just like that, and it really takes the shine off of everything. And then we need to do it over here. Go. And also what it does too is you're kind of, when you're fusing it, it pushes it into the rest of the paracord. Alright, so then we have the whipped end there. Now you can go ahead and do another whipped end there, and don't worry about it being adjustable. I do want a little bit of adjustment to this, so I'm just going to do one. I think it'll be more the function will be a little bit better if I just do one. So did the one there, and then what I need to do is take this knot apart. Had I been just doing this to make one, I probably wouldn't have put a sliding knot here, but because it's here, it kind of helped, so I left it there. And we're going to go ahead and cut that right there. And this here I actually want to look kind of bulbous, I guess would be the right word. I want to melt this very slowly so that it doesn't kind of burn into everything else. It can turn a different color, that's fine, but I do need it to be kind of its own little thing here. And by holding the flame a little ways away, it definitely helps to give you that kind of a look. You can see it a little better like that. There you go. That doesn't look too good over there, but so yeah, that's the whipping side, and then this side will just remain the sliding knot, so you'll be able to adjust this bracelet with that one. Then you have the decorative portion here. I would imagine a lot of people will do the decorative whipping here as well, and then remove this knot, give it more of a nautical feel to it. But there we go. I think I'm just going to finish this one by cutting the sliding knot off there, and then finishing it with just melting the end and using the tightening tool again. It goes out of frame. Using the tightening tool and giving it a little bit of a texture. There we go. You can see that texture there. It's pretty cool. Alright, and I made sure that I did not fuse this to this cord, because this is the cord that slides through. So you definitely don't want that to be fused to the knot. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers that. I don't even know what to call this. These are called the Pop Tab Clasp. If you go to board paracord, type in Pop Tab, it'll come up. And we put that on there because it looks like the opening to a soda can or pop can. Pretty easy little bracelet to make. You can do it with scraps. You're going to need about 3 feet, maybe less. I would say 2 feet would do a bracelet like this pretty quick, pretty easily. I hope you like this. These are available right now if you go on there. Packs of 5, 10, or 20. And then anything else you saw in this video is also available. So please support the channel. Check us out on Facebook. Subscribe. Hit the notifications. Do all that. Gotta throw all that in there. So hope you like the video. And until next time, paracord on.